All right, what's going on? What's going on? We're going live. We're going live. We're going live for the first time in a long time. So today's date is actually 14th. Yeah, 14th, Monday 14th. And I used to go live a long time ago, but we're back at it again. Um, my table is getting piled up a lot here, so I wanted to find a way to still bring you some content, but also to be very productive at it. So if you're here with me right now, I'm live with you. Please make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the bell right next to the subscribe button so you're subscribed to this channel all the time. We're here to talk about real estate wholesaling. My name is Ola. I started wholesaling. I closed my first deal December 2005. It took me a whole year to close that one deal. It was also the year I was finishing my master's degree, so it was a busy year. And the next 2 years after that, I did about 25 deals. But since then, I basically lost count on how many deals I've closed in my career. But in general, I'm here to just share my thoughts with you. I believe there's a ton of wealth of knowledge and wisdom in what I share with you because of my experience, but maybe not completely arranged in a step-by-step manner. If you want more of a step-by-step manner, then you want to join us on the inside, threepillarsystem.com. But that's not why we're here. I'll talk about that later. Today, I want to talk to you about wholesaling versus agency. Okay. All right. So again, if you're watching a rebroadcast of this, if you want to get notified every time I'm online, make sure you click subscribe and click the bell right next to it. I also have a book here. It's called Smart Real Estate Wholesaling.com. That's where you go to find it, smartrealestatewholesaling.com, and you can download it, the PDF, absolutely for free. But it's also available as a paperback like this. It's available as an audiobook. It's also available as a Kindle. Okay, so if that's what you prefer, the options are there as well too, and it also allows you to join my newsletter. But so let's talk about wholesaling versus agency really, really quickly. If you're watching rebroadcast, it's okay for you to come hang out with me live as well too. But if you don't have the time and you don't want to get hit in the middle of your day too, it's okay to watch the rebroadcast too. Just make sure that if I say anything that makes sense, just make sure you hit the like button at least once during this session. So let's talk about wholesaling and agency, right? The major question that I get a lot all the time, right? The question that I get a lot all the time is, should I get a license, a real estate license, or do I need a real estate license to start wholesaling, right? So first of all, what's wholesaling? Let's just in case you landed on here by mistake and you don't know what real estate wholesaling is. Real estate wholesaling is simply the heart and science. Okay, is the heart and science of finding deeply discounted properties. Okay, real estate properties. That's it. No more, no less. Okay. I know maybe you've gone through other videos and it involves cash buy, involves this, involve contracts. No, no, no. The very heart and science of simply finding deeply discounted real estate properties, that's how you make money in wholesaling real estate. It's a very lucrative business model, okay? Because basically all you have to do is get good at talking to people that are in distressed ownership situation, right? Distressed real estate ownership situation, right? And sometimes it could just be they just want to sell. Sometimes they have to sell. Either way, you're bringing some kind of solution to the table. That's what wholesaling is. So when I say agency, now let's define agency really quickly, right? Agency is basically the traditional real estate business that you know. So you have a house, you're moving out of state, you're not in a rush or anything like that. The first people you think about calling is a traditional licensed real estate broker or agent who works with a broker, right? That's what I mean by agency. So basically, you have to sign a listing contract. They will put your house on the market, and they sell that, and they get compensated by commissions. Okay, so in New Jersey here, the average is about 2.5 to 3% commissions. So, for example, if you sold $100,000 home, as a seller, you have to pay $3,000 to the agent who will help you create the exposure for the house. Okay. Now here's the problem with that. Here's where the problem shows up. If it's a distressed situation, most real estate agents are not trained on how to handle that. So, for example, case in point, you owe $400,000 and the property is now only worth $200,000, right? An agent will basically say, how much do you owe? You owe $400,000. Well, you have to come out of pocket with $200,000 for me to be able to help you sell your property. And if a person is looking to sell their property, there's a very high chance they don't have $200,000. If they did, they wouldn't be selling their property with you, right? So then they get to this alt and they can't solve that problem. It poses a problem that most agents don't know how to solve. Now, there's a lot more agents today who are a little bit more enlightened. They know there's such a thing as a short sale. They know they can try to get the bank to forgive the rest of the loan, right? They also know that yes, that may the credit may get hit, right? But the idea there is that most real estate agents are the only problem they solve is help you sell your house in an open market. So that takes time. If you're in a hurry to get rid of a house, that's not going to work out, right? But as a wholesaler, first of all, as a real estate wholesaler, right, meaning a real estate wholesaling professional, you don't have to have all those things aligned together, okay? As a matter of fact, the very definition of what you do falls under two main categories, and that's about it, and there's nothing else, okay? Number one, you're a marketer, because again, it's really the art and science of finding deeply discounted property. So whatever method you want to use is completely up to you. As long as it's effective, you're spending money in marketing, and as long as you can bring in a lot more revenue than the money you're spending, then you're in a profitable business. It's really that simple. Okay. So now we cover all of that step by step in details, but funny enough, the realtors or real estate agents have to do the same thing, except they don't have to come to the table with a solution-oriented mindset. I would advise them to do that, but they're not trained to do that. As a matter of fact, the training that real estate agents go through is mostly real estate law, right? So if you go try to get a license, they'll teach you all these real estate laws, the eminent domain, the I don't even remember because we're licensed here too through my father. I don't remember any of that stuff right now. But the point is that they will teach you all these big languages about the real estate law. Okay. As for me, the three things I pay attention to when it comes to real estate, as far as doing the ethical thing, is that don't cheat, don't steal, don't lie. Okay. Full disclosure at all times. Basically, if I'm dealing with a client, full disclosure on what I'm trying to do and how what I do serves them, right? How it solves their problem, right? So for a realtor, it's already, you're calling them because you already know what they do. You already have an understanding of what they do. They can help you list your house for sale, or they can help you find a home that's for sale. Okay. Basically, you're looking for your dream home. They help you find that. That's what they do. But in a situation where you're facing divorce and you have to get rid of a home like now, or there's too much repairs in the home and you have to get rid of it right now, right? As in like you are desperate, right? As in like you are motivated, as in like instant motivation, you need to sell right now. Most realtors don't have the solution to be able to help you, at least not from a traditional sense. Okay. Now, some of them are starting to get enlightened. Okay. And if you're watching me and you're an agent or realtor, then you should pay attention to what I'm about to say. Really, no matter what business you're in, you should be focused on the three pillars, okay? And I'm going to share that with you here in a second, what that means. The first pillar is value. V, it stands for value, right? It's VAP, value, automation, people, okay? Automation, because you can't front. We live in a digital age. If you're too slow, everyone else will outpace your production, or you will outpace yourself, meaning you will quit, right? So you don't want to be too slow with the way you operate things. It's like me saying, no, I don't want to use a cell phone. I'd rather people call me on landline. Well, there's so much information that will go past me that are going to be very valuable for me in business in the digital age if I get stuck in that mindset. So you need automation. And the third pillar is people. You don't have people, you don't know how to attract people, you don't know how to serve people, P, right? You lose basically. Okay, there's no such thing as a business without serving people. At some, even if you're trading stock market, you're trading a company that serves people with some kind of product or services, right? We're just so lucky that we have a high ticket product that backs our business here, and that's real estate. That's all. That's the only difference. So no matter what business you find yourself, either as a realtor, as an agent, as a wholesaler, as a person that sells candy, as a person that sells books, as a person that creates content, the bottom line is value. You start with value. What do you have to give to these people? And how can it solve a problem for them? How can it answer a question for them? And the third one is that how can it relieve some kind of pain? If the people you're dealing with they don't have some kind of pain, they don't have some kind of question, or the third one, they don't have a problem, basically you don't have a business. Okay, because even if you did have a business, you have to do too much work on selling, and we all sell. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to sell you this idea of VAP, three pillars right now, right? So, but I don't have to do much work in it because it makes sense to you as I'm saying it, right? But if I have to do too much work in selling, it takes that much away from my business when I could easily set up my business in a way that I don't have to sell. Because again, what I offer, the value that I offer, answers somebody's question, solves somebody's problem, or replaces somebody's pain with some kind of pleasure. Okay, so it's very, very important to understand that in no matter what business. So as a realtor, you're in the same game. You need people. You need to learn how to market. You need marketing and prospecting skill set. Automation, we already solved that. You need laptop and a cell phone in this world, right? You need some softwares, a few softwares. At the very minimum, you need Google, right? Just Google, right? So you need some kind of automation because the robots can do about 80% of what you would try to do, and that means that much faster for you in your business. And you need to start from value. However, how do I solve these people's problem? And I think, my personal opinion, at least from the way real estate wholesalers are trained, the way they are trained is like I'm doing right now. Value, start with value. They're trained to lead with value. Realtors, real estate agents are trained to just worry about the laws. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. And I say the only three things you really can't do is you can't cheat, you can't steal, you can't lie. That's applicable in any business if you want to do it for a long term. Now, the one thing I don't have to do, I'll tell you what I don't have to do is I don't have to know all the technical terms and all the legalities of this business, the right real estate contracts to use. I'll tell you something about real estate contract. People get stuck in the wholesaling game on contracts sometimes. And it's like the least of your problems. Because again, there's only one thing you do as a wholesaler. You find deeply discounted properties. However, if you're licensed, it makes it that much easier to solve even more problems. And again, I'm going to bring this all together so we can solve some problems. Either you're a realtor or you're a wholesaler. I want to help you here so you can start solving problems, because that's where your money lies. Because then you don't have to do that much selling, and people you're dealing with already know you don't have to. They already know that they want what you have to offer. And yes, some people will come through your funnels and you can't really provide solution for them. It's okay. It's all part of the numbers. It doesn't really matter. Okay. I can't tell you how many times we get harassed by knuckleheads who think it's just all about them. No, it's about the numbers and the actual people that we get to serve. If I don't get to serve you, then you're just a number. And I say that with all due respect. If I get to serve you, it means that much to me because you can become a testimonial, right? And then you can bring in even more numbers, right? Or you can even become a partner, or you can become a customer, right? Which is majority of them, right? I want you to start thinking of your business that way. I want you to think it very simple, keep it very simple. That's what it comes down to. So in my opinion, I think Wholesalers are already trained that they are here to solve a problem. They are trained that this is attraction marketing. They lead with how I can solve a problem for you. You've got a home that you inherited that you don't really like, you don't want, you don't care for it. I just want to sell it. I just want to get rid of it. You solve that problem for people. In that process, you make $20,000, $30,000 for every time you do that. Sometimes for just 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of work, right? Very simple. Or you're going through a divorce, you need to get rid of this house so we can split everything down the middle. We don't have time to put the repairs in. As a wholesaler, you get to go there, you know what the numbers are, you know what the formula is, and you put in an offer, a cash offer that can close within 10 days. And they say, oh, yeah, that works out for us. Thank you for saving us the headache. We don't want to repair. And then they keep it moving, right? If that same person went to a realtor would be like, yeah, we have to list it on the market, an average home on the market, not average. And a home is expected to spend about 60 to 100 days on the market to find highest and best offer. Some people don't have that time. Okay. I mean, if you value time, you understand what I'm talking about. Some people simply don't have that time to wait for the market to show up because it's called the market. The market is always right. And if you want an offer right now, then the offer is going to be a little bit less because you're buying time with that less offer. And then you're in a position, if you understand that as a wholesaler or as a agent wholesaler, hybrid of both, right? You understand that you can put an offer on that property, buy that property. Oh yeah, you don't have the money to buy that property. I have the money. Just put it on a contract for me and get in touch with me and we will buy the property. As long as you use the formula, there's a formula to it. We have to buy, they're buying time. We're selling time to them. So because of that money, they get the money that's a little bit less. Does that make sense? But that's additional solution in your toolbox as a realtor. As a wholesaler, you're asking, should I get licensed? Do I need to get licensed? No, you're not required to get a license to wholesale because again, you're taking equitable interest position in the transaction. You're literally going to buy the house, yes, with private funds from a partner, right? And yes, we are your partner. If you want to be a part of what we're doing here, you go to 3pillarsystem.com. You learn how to find this kind of discounted properties and we'll help you with the rest of it, okay? You find those, you learn how to put them under contract, right? And then basically you make money from helping us find deals like that. As a realtor, you can't do that. You're thinking traditionally you're going to help them put them on the market, and these people you may end up losing them because they need time, or you may end up losing the property to foreclosure. A pre-foreclosure is already 3 months late, sometimes 10 months late. They don't have the time. They're about to foreclose on them in 2 weeks time, and there's a place for you to be able to put in an offer, but because you didn't know about this, you didn't do it because you're scared, you're worried about, is it ethical? It's as long as somebody's problem is being solved, right? As long as somebody's plane is being replaced with pleasure, as long as somebody's question is being answered, it's absolutely ethical. You know what's not ethical? What's not ethical is to approach this kind of business venture with a judgmental standpoint, okay? Because at the end of the day, your judgment is coming from a limited knowledge standpoint. You just don't know. It's basically coming from an ignorance standpoint. Okay, and that's why I'm sharing this in this video right now. There is no real battle between wholesaling and agency. They're just one provide this type of solution. If somebody needs high and best offer for their property, you don't offer them less on their money. You don't say, hey, let me buy your house at 65% of what it's worth. You're gonna miss them because they don't want that offer. You're lowballing them, so you're not solving a problem. Does that make sense? At that stage, if you say, why do you want to sell? Well, I'm just saying I'll entertain your offer if you have an offer for me. Oh, are you trying to tell me that you don't have to sell? No, I don't have to sell. Great. I can help you get the highest and best offer for your property in the next 60 to 100 days. Is that what you want? Now, I am showing up as a realtor, but you can only do that if you're a licensed realtor. Does that make sense? Do you have to be licensed to wholesale? No. It just basically limits what you can do for people that most people are going to want highest and best offer on their deal, on their house when you call them. So Now, instead of you being able to say, let me see if I can get you highest and best offer on your property, and I'll basically be able to serve you in the capacity as an agent. Are you open to that? Okay, let's talk about the numbers. What is the property worth? You should give people, let me tell you something. The most ethical thing you can do in real estate is to give people what their property is worth. Okay? So now, when I say that, you have to remember that time is a factor in that. Okay? So today, right now, you want to offer and you want to be able to close in 7 to 10 days. That property is worth a lot less because you have to buy time. Because typically, that property has to sit on the market for 60 to 100 days. Time is not money. It's worth a whole lot more than money. Are we making sense? If I'm making sense, please make sure you give us a thumbs up, please. Okay, and make sure you subscribe and yeah, all of that. All right, all right. So they have to buy time now. Now, if they have time, they don't have to buy time. Okay, if they have time, they don't have to buy time. But they want to sell. If that's what they want to do, then we got to talk about how we're gonna get them the highest and best offer because we have time. And remember, it's you and them against the numbers, the actual value of the property. So if you know how to value a property, right? If you know how to value a property, just make sure you're giving people what their property is worth. If they want to sell now and they want the money like in the next few days, the property is suddenly worth the amount of the property less how much that time is because you're going to save them time. You're going to make it convenient for them to move on with their lives, right? And that's just how that works. So I wanted to share that with you as a comparison between, but at the end of the day, either you're a realtor or a wholesaler, you have to set your business up on those three pillars: value, automation, and people. And that's what I teach you how to set up inside of 3pillarsystem.com. That's my offer for you. 3pillarsystem.com is literally $10 per month. That's it. But also, in addition to that, you will have basically access to buyers network across the nation. Basically, all the cash buyers in the nation, you have access to that. But we'll also teach you how to find these discounted deals, and you also have access to our private mastermind on WhatsApp and on Facebook as well, especially on WhatsApp. Okay, that means you can basically go back and forth with us on WhatsApp from time to time. But that's what we have for you. And also, we have a challenge that you can engage in. The challenge is 30 days to a deal. Okay, so if you're a newbie and you want to close your first deal, it's called the 30DD. As soon as you join, you'll be able to take part in that as well too. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. Don't forget, for anything, you want to read this book 10 to 15 times. Smart Real Estate Wholesaling.com. I'm not sure if it's showing backwards, but Smart Real Estate Wholesaling.com. That's where you go to get access to a free PDF version of this. But also, you see access to the Kindle version and audiobook if that's what you prefer to do. It's a book that you must absolutely read 10 to 15 times because the mindset that you're going to need to kill it in this game is in that book. It has nothing to do with what you may see everywhere else. And that's it. That's what I have for you on this particular episode. I will see you on the next one, and peace.